I really love each one of the costumes. It was such an incredible job for me to design for the story of Harry Potter because it was the most wonderful saga in the world.
Wow!
What is the world of Hogwarts? You can draw from any inspiration, any history, any period. The children in the film, our vision was that they're very classic. There's nothing trendy about the wizard world. We tried to keep anything away like trainers. There's no logoed anything that smacks of modern. It's very classic.
I was really going for less of a contemporary look because I always wanted the film to have some sort of timeless quality. So I remember their wardrobe test, dressing them as these adorable little English school children, and they looked amazing.
I relied on Chris Columbus a lot for Harry. I mean, in the beginning, it's clear his clothes are too big. They're old, they're torn. Once he got to the school, Chris didn't really want him to look like that. It's distracting.
On Harry Potter 2, we tried to follow what Judiana had done in the first film, not meaning you had to keep them in the same costumes exactly, but we tried not to have a sort of jump in the look from 1 to 2. The children's clothes have an old-fashioned sort of English but timeless look.
People often ask me, aren't you going to grow out of your character, or isn't Hermione going to grow out of you either way? But it's perfectly timed because it takes a year for the film to be filmed, and so it's going up in years, so it works. So I'm growing up with her, if you know what I mean.
Welcome to another year at Hogwarts.
I started with the third Harry Potter, Prisoner of Azkaban. The first couple of films were brilliant, but they had a different style. My first meeting with Alfonso, he was telling me that the kids should be more normal, like the next door kids.
What I really wanted to do is to do it more contemporary. This film takes place in 2003, 2004. Let's see how the kids are dressed in 2003, 2004. We have the uniform that is a different uniform from 2. But if you notice, 2 is different uniform from 1. So we have an evolution of this uniform. Early on, we said, okay, how would you wear your uniform if your parents were not around?
He said that you should, customize it how you would if you were really at school, so it feels more natural.
They start doing weird things with ties or taking the shirts out. Some of the kids stocking everything and trying to be very neat.
We all started wearing Slytherin rings, Slytherin tie pieces.
An animagus is a wizard who elects to turn into an animal. A werewolf has no choice.
Hermione is the first of the class, so she looks good, she looks neat. Harry, we dressed him like the cool kid on the block.
Hedwig!
He was dressed up like every single teenager would have loved to be dressed up, with those perfect jeans, a little bit baggy, with this very cool T-shirt, with a hoodie. Suddenly, from a little boy, he became a hero.
Expecto Patronum!
Let me get this straight. Sirius Black has escaped from Azkaban to come after you.
And Ron is the hopeless one, the one who is always dressed up by what his mom makes for him. Those orange sweater, those shirts and those trousers, which were absolutely atrocious, but on him, they look so good.
Not good, brilliant.
Wait until my father hears that Dumbledore's got this oaf teaching classes.
Shut up, Malfoy.
Draco is something else. In the beginning, he was just the rich kid of the school, always wearing clothes which were perfect. And then he became darker and darker.
He starts off as the ultimate sort of slimy head git, if you will, and he slowly, very slowly, matures to the 6th film where he realises that he wants to get involved, so to speak.
Enjoy the ride back to London.
When the series progressed, he was much more looking like his dad. He was really becoming more and more Slytherin. He had an evolution.
On Christmas Eve night, we and our guests gather in the Great Hall for a night of well-mannered frivolity.
The Yule Ball is a key moment for each one of them. I remember that the girls were extremely excited and the boys were a little cooler about it.
All the girls got to dress up and the guys were in tuxedos.
This is my big dance day.
To dress Harry, I had designed those evening wear gown, and I remember Harry pushing that on, and he felt that he was looking really good.
It was amazing, but what's bizarre is it looks even better on camera. I don't know why it is, it just looks absolutely beautiful.
Ron, at the contrary, had to wear that terrible gown, and it had a little bit of a 70s look, because he's from the auntie, and she's one generation before.
I look like my great Aunt Tessie.
Mine is just, it's horrible. It's like pink lace all over it, covered in like flowers.
Then, on the other hand, there is Emma, or the ball-span Emma. And I loved it because of that.
For Harmony, that was her first dress, her sweet 16. I found the color straight away. I thought she has to have something pink, but I don't want a pink. I want a pink going into mauve, and I want something moving. It's magical.
Absolutely beautiful dress. I've never worn anything so beautiful. I was terrified I was going to rip it or spill something on it or anything. So literally, I would not sit in it, I would not walk in it, I would not do anything in it apart from what I had to do in it because I was so worried I was going to wreck it.
She just peeps around the side of the pillar and looks down. You know that she isn't a caterpillar anymore. She changed into something.
I was so nervous about the whole thing because it's meant to be such a big moment and it's going to be an anticipated moment, and I had so many pointers from Mike about how he wanted to look. I got down about 3 steps and fell down in front of the whole set, which was incredibly embarrassing. But no, it should be good in the film. You won't see that bit. Harry!
When we were shooting Harry Potter for the 5th, 6th, 7th films, of course, he grew. I mean, I met him when he was like 12 years old, and I left him when he was 19, almost 20. But his style didn't change. In a way, Harry is the lonesome cowboy, so he is always wearing dark color and the cool thing that the kids want to wear.
You must tell us everything.
Let the man breathe, Hermione.
And Harmony, when she started being older, she was, of course, more aware of her impact, you know, to boys. She was slightly more stylish. When they are on the run for the 7th movie, I remember Harmony crossing Piccadilly Circus in that dark, that red dress floating. It was the end of a journey from a girl being in high school to a woman who tried to do something in the world.
We're always changing. You know, every year we look older, we've learnt more things, we've grown up, we've developed, and that in itself is exciting. I mean, to have the same cast for a decade, it's unprecedented.
Together.
At the end of the last film, when we had this flash forward, I remember the producer, David Heyman, saying to me, "How do you see Harry in 20 years?" And I think he will dress like you, very cool, and in the same time very simple.
Bag?
Yeah.
Jumper?
And then Hermione as a businesswoman, because that's what she will become, elegant and a little bit strict. And Ron, he finally got out of his mom's sweater 20 years later. And I gave him something more normal and a jacket, but I still kept it a little bit clumsy to not lose his personality, because that's very important in the dynamism of the three of them.